Now what? Well, now you begin your authentic education by having AI help you write a book based on the books that you have listened to, and then narrating it for remembering all the things, but also as a gift for your family, for sharing with strangers, and going on adventures. Here you become as curious and unrestrained as Thales, and as knowledge-seeking as Hypatia, and as troublemaking as Socrates. That is where it all ended, kind of before things have really had a chance to begin. So that is where you go back to and start your journey. You have been betrayed by your teachers and guardians on multiple levels, so you can't really trust them with knowledge anymore. Which is kind of great, because that was always a pretty sus idea. Imagine telling your sweetheart what to think and what to believe in. That is not just disrespectful, but actually extremely bad, if not downright cruel. So your teachers and guardians needed to show you how to learn, and then help you get started with all the world's most clear-thinking intellectuals. Many of those will have made mistakes in life, but that is where their wisdom and books often come from rising out of the mistakes that they were more than often pushed into. Precisely for the purpose of showing you what not to do in life, and in some part to make their suffering count for more than just lonesome tears. Unlike fantasy books, real books show you why and how, and which is more, you inherit their culture, the culture of greatness. In real books, you don't have to read and reread to memorize. You just get to know the author, and you will understand their why and how. Just like you understand why your friends get in trouble and how they rise above them. It makes sense to you without memorization, because real stories are human. Once you understand their wisdom, it is clear why they have risen the way they did. Fake books are of composite creatures, layered, incompatible, disconnected ideas that would probably make a real mind eventually tear itself apart. Of course, you can't just sit down to an AI and tell it to write a book for you. No one would read that. What you are actually creating is memory keepsakes. They are about your questions and at the age that you are at. Those are human questions for an authentic mind seeking answers. That makes the book readable to others. They can learn along with you. You can write books on any subject, programming, 3D printing, but very often we look towards philosophy, as that is where all the answers are. So maybe you would write about Hypatia, Thales, Heraclitus, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, Epicurus, Spinoza, Kant, and of course Nietzsche, Viktor Frankl, Ayn Rand, Christopher Hitchens, Daniel Dennett, Sir Ken Robinson, and many others. One or two of these great thinkers would mark a complete chapter in your book. Then you just fill the book with your conversations and letters with them that you generate with the help of AI. You will have to read books about them first, to be sure that the AI is correct and that you really appreciate their work. That is, of course, the research and learning part. And then you just put everything into a well-structured book and narrate it. Like education, graduation is obviously not about pieces of paper. So, you still need to graduate for real, and that can only mean walking the Triple Crown, which could take a lifetime. You don't have to through hike on your first attempt. The Triple Crown of hiking contains 3 magnificent trails: the Appalachian Trail, the Pacific Crest Trail, and the Continental Divide Trail, where you will have all the time in the world to listen to even more books, which, as you continue learning, will eventually help you to rise towards becoming a sovereign, intransigent, great being. And you will finally have your graduation.